Okay, we're on page 446, lesson 8-4. Bless you. Properties of logarithms. Okay, so we're gonna go through several properties today of logarithms. If we have log base b of m plus log base b of n. Now look at that. What's the same in both of those things that we're adding together? The base is. If you have things that have the same base and you are adding them together, that is equal to log of base b, same base, of those two items product. So addition translates into multiplication as long as the bases are the same. Okay? Well, if addition and multiplication kind of go together, what do you think about subtraction? It's probably going to go with division. So if I have log base b of m minus log base b of n, that's going to translate into division. And you've got to be careful with subtraction and division because order matters in those. It doesn't matter in adding and multiplying, but it does matter here. The log base b of m over n has to be in the same order. Whatever order they gave you the subtraction, division goes the same way. The next property says if you have a number, I'm going to use a real number in this example. Say I have 7 times log base b of m. That's multiplying a constant by a log. That translates into log base b of m to the 7th power. Okay? Those are 3 new properties that we're going to practice today. So let's look at the first example. Log base 2 of 8 minus log base 2 of 4. They want you to state the property and then rewrite the expression. The names of the properties are the product property, the quotient property, and the power property. So if you're starting here and going there, or if you're starting there and going here, it's all called the quotient property. No, whichever one they give you, you're going to go the other direction. So they're giving me the subtraction part. I need to write it as a quotient. So this is log base 2 of 8 over 4. Ma'am? Yes, I'm supposed to simplify 8 over 4. And what property is that? I know that you can go one step further and find this answer, but they're not asking you to do that on those problems, okay? They're not asking you to do that, so we're just going to stop right there. The next example says log base b of x to the 3rd times y. Okay? Now you got a couple of things going on in this one. First of all, I want you to tell me what's going on between the x term and the y term. They're being multiplied, which tells me that I'm using which property. If things are being multiplied, which property is that? Product. Then x has the exponent 3 on it, so that means I'm using another one of those properties, which is the power. We're going to separate it one at a time. So we're going to do the product part first. We're going to say log base b of x to the 3rd plus log base b of y. That's what that equals. And what property did I use right there? Product. But we're going to go one step further. The 3 that's attached to the x, I can rewrite it, and where would I put it? In front of it. So it would be 3 log base b of x plus log base b of y. Now I've also used the power property. I want you to be careful here. X was the only thing that had the power of 3. So that's the only term that 3 is being multiplied by. It's not a distributive property. The 3 doesn't have a thing in the world to do with the log base y. Only with this one. Okay? Y'all follow me? So far, so good? Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Okay. We'll keep going. State the property and rewrite. This one says log base 5 of 2 plus log base 5 of 6. Now they're giving it to you spread out, and they're wanting you to condense it. This is addition. What does it translate into? Of 2 times 6, right? Which is really log base 5 of 12. You paying attention? Do I have everybody's attention? What property did I just use? It's either power, product, or quotient. This one's product. Like find the answer? Okay, I can, but I mean this one won't have a pretty answer. But if you were asked to work them out, you would write equals x, and you would drag the 5 over and say 5 to what power equals 12. The one I had earlier would have been 2 to what power equals 2, and that one would have come out to be 1. This one, not going to have a pretty answer. Okay, let's do another one. 3 log base b of 4 minus 3 log base b of 2. Okay, you've got a couple of things going on. You've got that 3 that's out there in front. Where does that 3 need to go when I rewrite it? It's okay to guess wrong, but go ahead and guess. Yes, ma'am? You do it as an exponent on the 4. And where does this 3 need to go? On the 2. That's the first thing we're going to do. What property did I just use when I did that? Power. So it says log base b of 4 to the third minus log base b of 2 to the third. You do it one step at a time. You can't put them all together in one big step. You got to go step by step. Now, what do I do when I have subtraction? What does it translate into? Subtraction will be translated into what? Division. So that's going to use the quotient rule. Log base b of 4 to the third over 2 to the third. Now I would go ahead and figure out what 4 to the third and 2 to the third are, and then I'd, simplify the answer. So what's 4 to the third power? What's 2 to the third? Okay, so log base b of 64 over 8 is log base b of 8. And I use the power and the quotient rule here. Any questions on that? Okay, next example. Example 2 says to rewrite log base 3 of 20 minus log base 3 of 4. Help me do this one. Rewrite it as a single logarithm. That just means take it from whatever form it's in and put it in the other form. So you're going to be combining these. How does subtraction translate? So this is log base 3 of 20 over 4, which is really log base 3 of 5. You ready? The next one says 3 times log base 2 of x plus log base 2 of y. You're going to have to do 2 steps on this one. What's the first step? Take your power, put it back where it needs to be, so that needs to be moved there. Log base 2 of x to the third plus log base 2 of y. And then x to the third times y. Any questions on those? Okay. Well, that's okay. You know, anything we do one direction, we turn around and go the other direction. So this is example 3. It says log base 5 of x over y. And they want you to rewrite it. It's called expanding the logarithm. They're giving you the condensed version. You're supposed to write the longer version. What does this one look like? It's division. Using the quotient rule, quotient property. What? Okay. You got that? The next example. This one's going to take 2 steps. The first step, I want you to translate the multiplication back into addition. We'll take care of the power at the very end. Okay? When you are expanding them, do the power last. When you are condensing them, do the power first. Okay? So this is going to start out. Now, what's it mean that I don't have a base written up there? 10. Means it's 10. Log of 3 plus log of r to the 4th. The multiplication got split into addition. The next step, I'll pull the 4 off, but it doesn't go all the way over there in front of everything, y'all. It only goes in front of the little part it's attached to. Log base 10 of 3 plus 4 times log base 10 of r. Now let's look at this one. Log base 10 of y over 3 all squared. Tell me what the 2 affects in this problem. Everything. The y and the 3. You can do this 2 different ways. You can split this up and call this log of y squared over 3 squared. Then what's the first step? You're going to go from division to... Division doesn't go to multiplication. What division translates into subtraction. Log base 10 of y squared minus log base 10 of 3 squared. Now you do one more step where you take the power and you move it over in front. 2 times log of y minus 2 times log of 3. If you worked it as 1, then you would do 2 times log y over 3, 2 times log y minus log 3. And with it in brackets, then you're telling us that it needs to be distributed, that it affects both of them. Doesn't matter to me if you use this one or this one. They're ultimately the same. Okay. Page 449. 2 through 30 even, and 34 through 40 even. Now, on 34 through 40, when you get down to the bottom, they want you to go on and find the answer. Okay? For example, number 33 says log base 2 of 4 minus log base 2 of 16. What does subtraction translate into? Division, so that's 4 over 16. What's 4 over 16 really? 1/4. Now they want you to go ahead, Alyssa, this is what you asked me about. They want you to go ahead and write equals x, and then they want you to solve. 2 to what power equals 1/4? Well, what if it said just plain old 4 over there? 2 to what power is equal to 4? Second power. What would make it go in the bottom of the fraction? The exponent would have to be negative. So in this case, x is -2. Okay? I'm done.
Okay, I'm confused. I'm sorry.
Huh?
Where did you get the 2x equals 1/4 from?
Right here.
I know, but
Where did it come from?
yeah.
At the end of the problem, they're gonna, at the very end of your homework assignment, they're gonna ask you to evaluate. That means they want you to actually figure out what that equals. So when you do that, you write equals x over here to the side, and then you go back to what we did prior to today. Like, I know it's been a week, but you go back there, and you drag the 2 over, and it picks up the exponent, 2 to the x, it equals 1/4.
Okay.
And you figure out what exponent would cause this to be 1/4.